Your Hollywood system stole our sex and co-opted our violence, so there's nothing left for our kinds of movies.
Movie.
I did not hit her. It's not true.
Klopex? Klopex. Klopek.
Up yours, baby.
Me and Bubba, my little brother, listen to you every night.
Where in the hell are we?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey guys, welcome to week 2 of Cult Film and Review. I'm excited that you're with us. I'm Cody Everett, your host, and this week we are going to talk about Big Trouble in Little China. I'm really excited about it. It's a great movie. I don't know what else to say. It's John Carpenter. He's one of my favorites. Anyways, make sure you find us on iTunes and you rate us 5 stars, write us a review, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You can find us on Facebook. You can even send us an email to cultfilmandreview@gmail.com. And you can tell us what movies to watch, what you hate, all that kind of stuff. But I hope you guys enjoy the show, and let's start the show. Hey guys, thanks for listening. This is week 2. This week we're going to be reviewing Big Trouble in Little China. I'm pretty excited about that. But first, I just want to say I'm Cody Everett. You can find me at the official Cody Everett on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook. You can find this whole show on Facebook at Cult Film and Review. You can also follow us on Twitter, which I think it's Cult_Review, at Cult_Review, I guess I should say, on Twitter. You can find us there. I just want to say that I'm having a hell of a week. It's been great. I went to the doctor. I have a clean bill of health. I guess I could have better good cholesterol, but, you know, whatever.
Everybody can, you know.
Right?
The
Yeah,
amount of shit
exactly.
we eat these days, so.
What does that mean? You just have a bunch of like loose shit floating around in your body or something?
No, it just means I need to exercise.
Not even close.
What
I'm
is
glad
that?
you're not a doctor, Chris.
I never
Yeah.
said I was a doctor.
She said all. She said all I need to do is exercise. But also, I took
Yeah.
my son to his first comic book shop. He's 14 months.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome, dude.
Got him some comics. Got myself some comics. Got some figures and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna get back into collecting figures, which I'm pretty excited about.
I gotta say, like, some of my favorite memories as a child growing up was my dad taking me to comic book shops and allowing me to, like, pick out a couple, like, 4 or 5 comics to take home. It was
Well,
so fucking great.
That's
Yeah,
my plan.
I had to drag my father to comic book shops.
See that? I had to
He
too.
never wanted to go.
I don't think my dad ever took me to a comic book shop. So this is something I'm starting with my son that we're gonna do every Thursday. We're gonna go and
I never desired going to a comic book shop. I just never like it. Like the only thing I would ever look for was maybe like a horror movie, you know, piece of memorabilia somewhere. I would never like actually be interested in the comic books. The one thing that I was interested in as a kid though was Kyle, your father, actually my uncle, owns a pretty insane collection of comic books, which he used to keep stashed underneath his bed. And I remember as kids, we would always go digging through those boxes.
And that, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And that actually is what I think created that love of comic books for me and my brothers. I kind of ran with it a little bit more, but yeah, because when during summer vacation, they would always just leave us all at home alone, and Ryan was in charge, who's my oldest brother. But yeah, one of the things we used to always do is we used to like pull out that comic book box, and it was one of those, 4-foot long white boxes, and we would just go through each comic book one after another and kind of see, look at the ones we love. And my dad kind of picked up on that. We were breaking into his comic book collection that was totally off limits. So it was fun.
Hey, Mike, where can people find you at? What did you do this week? Anything fun?
Oh, what did I do this weekend? I biked.
Oh, he
I
biked.
Look at that.
Look at
So
that.
I'm starting up on the exercise tip as well. So,
You're starting to exercise? Apparently that's the thing to do when you're 30 and fat.
Yep, that's exactly what motivates me every day.
Riding bikes is super fun, though. Like, you get to go explore quickly.
Oh, I
you
love
know?
it. I love it.
You get to go explore quickly. Yep.
It's
If
true.
you find something you
It's
don't like, you can get away.
It's like, I'm going to go fucking drive down in this wash right here and go, like, jump some jumps.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
I definitely don't jump any jumps.
I
Or
wouldn't
even if you
either
just
in my
ride on the
30s.
sidewalk. That's okay.
I did almost fucking biff though, like real bad, right in front of like those bikes where people lay down and they have like hoods on them.
Oh, yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
kind of like
Bitch bike.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Fuck those
Exactly.
things.
I had 2 guys behind me, and I swerved out of the way, and then I ran right into the gravel
Oh, man.
and just like almost lost it.
Yeah.
Are you not on a mountain bike?
No, I do not have a mountain bike. I have
Okay.
a road bike.
Oh, that
mistake.
Or as
sucks
they call it,
in
a
gravel.
city
Mistake.
bike. Yeah,
City bike.
I dug right in.
Do you ride this city bike on the sidewalk or on the street?
I ride it. There's a bike path.
He
right
rides
here,
in the
right?
city, Chris.
Mike, where can people find you at?
They can find me at Mike Salustio on Twitter, and I also write about film stuff over at friendlyneighborhoodfilmmaking.com.
All right, guys, make sure you guys go and check that out. Hey, Chris, where can people find you at? What's going on this week with you?
You can find me at, I work over at Midnight Releasing and Brain Damage Films, so you can go to either of their websites, midnightreleasing.com or braindamagefilms.com. Schlocky B, horror film, blood and boobs kind of shit over there. Yeah, so you can find me there. Guarorama on Instagram. Facebook, my name. So, look it up. It's long.
All right, you got anything cool going on this week, or did you just do nothing?
This week, no. I mean, my film got accepted into the Phoenix Comic Con, which is coming up. So it's gonna be
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support. Love
Which
you.
film's that?
It's called Reality. It's 12-minute, which is it's proved to be a good learning experience because my previous film that I made is a lot longer and has a much harder time getting into festivals. But this one is 12 minutes long, and I think it is just generally more accepted because you can fit it into a block of films easier than putting a 25-minute film in there and then a couple, shorter ones.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll see you there because I'm in a film.
What's the film?
It's called Best Day Ever. I play a
Best Day-
small extra part. Well, it's a pretty significant.
Is
part.
that Angel's film?
Yeah, it's Angel's film.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's huge.
Nice.
Michael Salustio is huge in the acting world right now because of this movie.
I'm moving my way up, guys.
He's acting humble, but he's got a huge part. It's huge.
huge.
He's
It's
acting
huge.
humble.
What's
It's
not
bi-
huge?
It's as
I'm
big
telling you right now,
as
10 seconds in a 5-minute short. That's a huge part
If he's acting,
relative to other parts.
if he's acting humble, is he actually humble?
yes, yeah. No, he's got his part's so big. It's big as Marissa Tomei's part in Toxic Avenger.
Nice.
It's huge.
And we all know she stole that scene. So
All right, last but not least, Kyle Smith, what do you got going on this week? Where can people find you at?
You can find me on Facebook.com/Bluefield Audio, and you can find me on Instagram, Pliskin426. This week, not much. I will make an announcement, though. A film that I helped edit the audio for is just got accepted into Phoenix Comic Con called Reality.
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
I can't wait to fucking
Double
see that
down.
movie.
I heard it's gonna blow Comic-Con away.
Yeah, it's tearing the fucking roof off, dude.
it's got some hype to it, guys.
Dude, there's hype. There's
We
definitely
already got.
hype.
I already heard it from 2 people already. So
Dude, 2 people in 3 minutes? That's hype.
that's hype.
I'm just a walking market.
All right, guys. So,
machine.
hey, now, guys, coming up, we're going to be talking about Big Trouble in Little China. It's about an all-American trucker who gets dragged into a centuries-old mystical battle in Chinatown. I can't wait to talk to you guys about it and see what you guys thought of the film. It's going to be a really fun conversation, so make sure you stick around. Keep listening, guys.
Who are these people? Friends of yours, huh? Now, this really pisses me off to no end.
Come on, stick around. Where's Mao Yin? In this building?
Safe,
Where is she?
safe, safer with me than any creature on earth.
And guys, we're back. All right, so we're gonna get into the movie that we all came here to talk about, and that's Big Trouble in Little China. Big mouth and trouble in it.
Big mouth.
So first thing I want to talk about, actually, you know what? Before we get into the film, let's talk about this. Last week, some people in the room, I'm not going to name names, but if they want to come forward, made some mistakes with some of the knowledge that they were trying to drop on us. So if anyone wants to say who they are, go ahead.
I'll start. I did make a mistake when I said that Toxic Avenger was turned into 2 films. That's incorrect. Actually, it's a sequel. Lloyd Kaufman shot too much, and he turned the second film or the third film. He made the third film from the extra footage from the second film, basically. So I fucked that up, and I just fucked it up even describing it. So, Chris, why don't you take it away?
Okay,
Oh, I guess-
I'm glad we're coming clean right now. I feel good about it.
It feels good. It feels refreshing.
Yeah, last week I made a mistake. I said the Rocky Horror Picture Show was not a box office flop, but it certainly was. But not soon after. Not soon after that, it started taking off. People started catching on to it even more.
It certainly was a flop.
I think Chris just wanted it to be so successful.
He did. All right, guys. So, Big Trouble in Little China. Let's talk about what makes this a cult film. What makes this a cult film to you, Chris?
Big Trouble in Little China. A cult film. This also kind of goes along with what we were just discussing, and maybe this is something that we'll discover along the way about cult film. But it was a box office flop. In fact, it was the reason that John Carpenter stopped working with Hollywood. So. But once it kind of hit the video market, this was right in the era of video. So right when it hit the video market, then it started developing its cult status. And John Carpenter still says how proud he is of this movie. He thought it was the most amazing thing, and he always wanted to make a martial arts movie, and he got a chance to do it here. So
it was a box office flop. I think it was a $20 million budget, and it only did 11.5 million.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. And also, I think it is. I think it has so many different elements to it, which is kind of what you see as a running thing in cult films. Is it's got martial arts, it's got comedy, it's got drama, it's got romance, it's got horror even. Like there were certain scenes in this film that I remember when I was a kid, and I remember them differently. But now when I go back and I see it, I'm like, wow, I always thought that scene was a lot longer than it was. You realize certain things when you get older, and that's kind of, you keep discovering it.
Kyle, what makes this a cult film to you?
Just like what Chris was saying, I mean, which I think it's funny that he's echoing exactly what I said a cult film is last week. And
True.
It is a flop that picks up on the home video market. But I think it's just such a memorable, ridiculous movie. And everything's done over the top. This movie is responsible for me, developing my love affair with Kung Fu and Kung Fu films, and then later on discovering Shaw Brothers films of the 70s, the Shopsaki stuff. And it's funny because I don't think it's, to me, I don't see it as a cult film. To me, I see it as something that when I used to come home from kindergarten, I used to always pop this VHS into the VCR and watch it. That was what I watched when I came home from kindergarten. 80% of the time was this movie, and it's really close to my heart, and I absolutely love this movie so much. It taught me everything I know.
Oh, this movie taught you everything.
Everything I know.
Okay.
Is Big Trouble in Little China.
All right, Mike. What makes this movie a cult film for you?
Fans like Kyle here. I mean, it's like it is a different type of movie. It's a hybrid movie. It's a kung fu movie, like Chris said. It's a horror movie. It's like John Carpenter wanted to just jam all of this into one film, and he did something that was, he went with an idea and he stuck with it. And I know, he got a lot of slack from it from Hollywood and a lot of probably blowback from that, but it's been able to stand the test of time with its fandom. So yeah, that's.
Just 1 second. It's really hot in here, and I want to get into the vibe of things. So hold on a second, guys.
Jack Burton in the house.
He took off his shirt and he's wearing the outfit basically that Jack Burton wore in the movie. The shirt from it.
With the addition of Chucks.
Is that a Sergeant
Nice.
Kabuki Man on there?
All right, so I think what makes this a cult film for myself is that it is, in all, I think it's a fantasy film. I think what he wanted to make a martial arts film, but I think he ended up making a fantasy film. And it's in a modern day Chinese fantasy film. That's the way I see it. And I love this movie. This movie is so good. And I get why it has a cult following, because it throws things at you that you're not expecting at weird times. With that monster? What is that? Where did that come from?
Oh my god,
and
I love that guy.
It comes out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt anyone.
No,
it hurts
Not really.
anyone.
It just grabs Gracie, and that's pretty much what it does in the film. So.
Yeah,
It hurts your eyes to look at him. That's
right. It's like, couldn't a henchman have done that? But they got a it's just they
Dude,
were
if you got
throwing
an excuse to
everything
use
at
a
it.
monster and you've got a $20 million budget, use a monster.
I mean,
I guess.
shit, this was the film to do it. And I mean, it has ghosts, ninjas. What else has it got?
sorcerers.
Sorcerers,
yeah, it's
magicians.
got rain god and
Yeah.
thunder and lightning god.
Raiden is in it, I think.
Raiden.
Raiden. Actually, it's so funny you brought that up. I was reading up on that, and the lightning god in this film, it's debatable, but they think that he was the source of inspiration for creating the character Raiden in Mortal
Had to be.
Kombat. So
I had to be. I'm calling it right now, 100%.
I think that's kind of a part of Chinese history. though.
It is, yeah, but I think if you go back and look at Chinese history, I think usually their gods are depicted more in a non-human form, more of a demonic form.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like, bringing it into the more of a modern, esque.
I can't
feeling,
wait.
So
I can't wait to hear Kyle correct himself next week on that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really.
I believe
that
the
I
gods
fucking
were
read. So
personifications.
I've read that shit online.
So did everybody know that this is definitely John Carpenter had a lot of trouble making this film? Definitely a lot. So this is true. It's true what Chris said, that he quit Hollywood pretty much after this to start making films independently again because of, I think, the producer mostly, from what I gather, just in general, because they fought about basically everything. Did you guys know that they producer originally wanted either who was it? It was Clint Eastwood.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember who the second one was.
There's some fucking like action guy. I don't fucking remember, but
It was-
wouldn't have fit at all for the role.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't close. And actually, Kurt Russell didn't want to do the movie either because he had done like a bunch of flops before then, and he's like, I don't want this to flop too. Which I guess it tested through the roof.
It actually did flop, but
And it flopped. But John Carpenter said he didn't care. He wanted Kurt Russell. So what are you, like the leading man? Let's talk about the leading man because you have
so
to.
Wang.
Well, he's sitting right
Yeah.
over here next to us, so
Well-
why don't we let him talk about?
And yes, I know exactly where you're gonna go with this, Cody. And Kurt Russell is not the leading man. Actually, Kurt Russell, one of his quotes you can find, he says it best, is that this movie is about a sidekick who thinks he's the main character.
I think that I think there's confusion on that.
No, I don't. Why do you think there's confusion?
I think there's confusion on that because of this reason. Like, yes, I agree with you in the movie, the way it's depicted. It's like Wang is definitely like the badass. But if you think about it, everybody is like, where's Jack? We need Jack. Get Jack. Even Wang's like, we need Jack. Why do they need Jack? They don't need Jack at all.
Well, I mean,
there's really no reason for Jack to be there.
I think Jack is just a good guy and he wants to be there. So what you're saying, Kyle, is, that he wants to be the lead character, but he's actually the sidekick.
I think he thinks he's the main character. But yeah, he's really just a sidekick because he's just a buffoon in all the scenes he's in, all the fighting scenes. He
never
fucks
fights-
up. He fucks
never
up so
fights
bad.
everyone.
He finally gets his gun to work and he shoots one guy. Like I fucking.
And don't they make a comment like that the first guy
was
he
the
ever
first time he plugged
plugged?
someone?
Yeah.
I mean,
Of
just
course not.
think about what each character represents between Wang and Jack. Wang is like the quintessential hero traits that you would find: loyalty, honor. He kicks everyone's ass.
True.
Like he has no problem doing that. Jack is a braggart. He's constantly herpaderping his way through victory. He's like kind of like Indiana Jones. Like he, through luck and sheer just like determination, he just finds a way to get out of things, but always by the skin of his teeth, and constantly getting knocked out or underneath a demon body and can't get it off of him. And,
Being a buffoon in every single fight.
Exactly. He's basically Ash, kind of, from the evil. Well, maybe Army of Darkness, more or less.
Maybe Army of Darkness,
Like
but
he thinks he's got it under control and thinks he's a badass, but in reality he's kind of. I mean, he's only doing this to get his fucking truck back. That's really the one reason why he does it in the beginning.
That's true.
But can we also agree that every other character, though, acts like they need Jack Burton? Every other character is like, we need
I don't
need
think
him.
so. I don't think Gracie Law is like
Towards the end, she does.
at the end because he rescues
She
her, but
falls in
that's
love
it.
with her.
That's it. He rescues her and she becomes smitten with him. But before that, she's like, "What the who are
so
you?"
so does Egg. Egg says that he needs to be there all the time.
He says that.
Yeah,
When does he say that?
he says it.
Give me a time code.
I don't remember the exact quote, but he says it.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Does anybody find it strange that there was like the whole subplot of like the sex slavery thing going on? Does that strike anybody as like
Oh,
odd?
all the women in
Yeah.
the cages.
No.
Well, I think
No.
they needed some kind of plot point, like other than just some green-eyed Chinese girl gets.
No, it makes
stolen.
sense. It makes sense. That's
have to
how
have a
they're
reason.
that's how they're looking for the
Yeah.
green-eyed Chinese girl.
They're
once,
just
once they
harboring
have
sex
them, and
slaves?
Yes.
once they have
can't
them,
see that she doesn't have green eyes.
I know that should be the first thing you notice. I'm like, all right, let's not kidnap this one.
Okay, did anyone else notice that then in the movie when the main villain, I can't think of his name, please help
David
me.
Lopan.
David Lopan is like, 2 girls with green eyes. This is amazing. It's taken him 2,000 years to find a white girl with green eyes.
That's one of my favorite quotes from Jack Burton. It's like, it's taken you 2,000 years. Come on, Dave. You got to be doing something wrong at this point.
But to be fair, Lopan does have like a defense for that. He says, "Well, you know, relationships
There
don't
have
always
been
work
others,
out." Yeah.
as anyone would know.
You, Jack, of all people, would understand that. Like,
Oh God.
All right. So next, what I'd like to talk about, guys, is your favorite lines. What are your favorite
oh my
lines
God,
from the movie?
This entire fucking movie, Jesus.
There's so many good lines.
There's so many. I don't know. Mike, why don't you take that one?
my favorite line by far in this whole film is right after they take that potion, the egg shen potion, and they're just sitting in that elevator, and they're just circle jerking each other throughout the whole thing, just like, yeah, man, I feel real good, man.
I've got a positive
I feel
feeling.
amazing. And then it just goes silent when they all realize how weird it is that they're doing this, and Jack just like, is it just me or is it getting hot in here? It's perfect comedic timing.
Yes.
My favorite line is, "Son of a bitch must pay." That line's so good. It's just like,
Oh my God. When he like gets
when he gets
out of,
cut off. No,
isn't it when
Right?
he gets out of the
Yeah.
truck?
it's
Wait.
when he gets out of the truck.
Okay.
gets out of the truck when?
In the alleyway?
Yeah, in the alleyway.
Doesn't that when he says that line?
When he
No.
gets blinded?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, Jesus.
Jesus.
Where?
All right. Quit confusing me, goddammit. No, it's when he gets cut off.
No. Okay, no. I got it now. I'm gonna bring us back home. It's
Please do.
okay.
Yeah, I watched the movie last
that
night.
would be right when they dodged the 1987 red Firebird,
That's
and he
right.
says, "Son of a bitch, must pay," and then it cuts to the 18-wheeler flying down the highway, and
That-
then he gets cut off.
That shot, by the way, of the Firebird coming at them is pretty badass.
That's a good,
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
a
a
great
really good
cut.
shot.
Great cut.
Don't remember it.
Did you even watch the movie?
Yes, I
Chris?
did. I don't remember.
Apparently,
that.
none of us did because we couldn't remember where that damn line was.
You know what? There's so many fucking good lines. It's hard to like keep them in order.
Yeah.
I
Is that a
honestly, like,
problem?
my favorite scene, honestly, is like really the intro when he's just yabbering on the fucking radio to whoever's out there listening.
Yeah.
When some wild-eyed ape puts the back of your favorite head against the barroom wall and asks you if you paid your dues. Just remember what Jack Burton says. Yes, sir. The check is in the mail.
That is so good. That sounded awesome.
Kurt Russell, yeah, I think Kurt. But okay, so going back to Kurt Russell being the leading man because
He's
is
not.
No.
But he's definitely the star.
Well, no, he's the
power of
leading man.
film.
He's just not the hero.
Yeah.
He's the sidekick. You can.
He's the star
It's
of
just
the
the
film.
point of view of the sidekick. He's definitely leading man. Like in
Okay.
terms of Hollywood power, nobody was
No. He's
banking this
he's
film off of Wang. What was the actor's name? I don't even know.
fucking
Like,
remember
yeah.
at this point. But no, I agree with you on that. Where he was like the star power of the film, but he was not like he wasn't the hero per
No.
se. He does like one or two heroic things, which is killing David Lopan. And I don't remember what the other one was actually. No, he kills David Lopan at the end. That's his heroic
And it's the
moment.
coolest kill ever.
Dude,
is.
right?
Oh, it
Fucking
is.
catches the knife and then immediately throws it back.
Reflex.
Sticks him in the head.
It's all,
Yeah.
it's all. Oh, another great line. It's all in the reflex.
And that's the funniest thing about Jack is that's the one skill that he's possessed throughout all this time is that he has amazing reflexes that he can catch something in the air and throw it. And they do it how many times in the film? He says that at least 3 times.
Oh yeah, at least yeah.
When he catches the bottle, when he's in the truck, when he first goes out.
Dude, I've watched that scene like in slow mo so many times to see how they pulled that shot off.
I wonder if he just
but
caught it. Maybe he just caught it.
It looks like if
Russell's
you
that
watch
good.
it in slow mo, the
Yeah.
guy's hand does shoot up right before the blade hits the
Oh,
bottle.
you can see like the
actor's hand shoots up to catch it, but what's up, Cody?
Now, my question is for you though: is how do you guys feel that Kurt Russell played this character? Now, when you watch it, do you see an actual character in Jack Burton, or do you see Kurt Russell playing a character as Jack Burton?
I think it's a character. I think it's a character, and he pulled from the best of John Wayne and a few other like really. I like how Mike made a noise when I said that
Because I agree.
But yeah, I think he pulled the best from like the anti-heroes of previous film history and kind of made it his own. He made him into somebody who does not want to be the hero, but he's there.
And I think it works really well because I think the main point of this character was that he wanted to be a swinging dick. Like, and who does that better than John Wayne? Like this fucking, hey everybody, I'm gonna
What's
fucking
up,
walk into
pilgrims?
town. You know,
I
We
need to
all do
walk like this because my dick is so
And
big.
what follows is a terrible impersonation of John Wayne by everyone in the room.
Yep.
Well, good, because that's how I felt too. I didn't feel like it was him, like Kurt Russell playing a character. I felt like I saw him as Jack Burton, not as Kurt Russell playing Jack Burton. I see him as that character. I see that actually with a lot of his movies. I think that just
He's a
says
great actor.
what kind of actor he is. I don't see the actor. I see the character.
But I think Kurt Russell himself is a character. Like when you see him, he doesn't really like look like anybody else. You know, he kind of has his own. I don't even know what the word would be. Just persona, demeanor, just like when I see Jack Burton, I feel like that is kind of how Kurt Russell might be in real life.
He could be, but you make a good point. Like if we were to have to remake this film, God hope they don't, but if they ever did, who could possibly play that role? Like
No one.
no, it's impossible. It's one of those roles.
You would have to make almost like a reboot where the Jack Burton story is a separate entity.
Exactly.
Or something.
I was thinking about that after I watched it. I'm like, I wonder if they'll ever do a remake of this.
They'll
movie.
try to. That's all
They
they
will.
fucking do in Hollywood nowadays. No original ideas
They
out
will.
there anymore.
So everyone, but also this movie. Speaking of that, this movie was originally written as a western. Then they
Yes.
changed it to modern times because it was They wanted and they rushed it to get it out to beat Golden Child, the Eddie Murphy comedy,
You know what's so
which is very similar to this movie.
well, you know what's even more similar about it is oh god, what's his name? The guy who plays Egg Shen is in Golden Child, and the guy who plays David Lopan is in Golden Child. Did you
I
know
feel like
that?
they might have only had two real Asian actors that like.
Yeah, in 1986
Yeah.
in Hollywood.
Yeah, you had.
We need quirky Asian dudes.
Fuck,
Who do
what
we
the
get?
hell is his name? That's pissing me off now.
Oh, which one?
Guy who played fucking Egg Shen.
Oh God,
Mr. Miyagi.
I can look it up.
Jesus Christ. That is not his name, Chris.
All right. So, anyways, guys, I'm pretty happy with that for right now. I think that we should take a break. We'll get back here and we'll talk about some of the fight scenes is what I'd like to talk about and how those were filmed because I think John Carpenter knows how to film a fight scene. We'll talk about that when we come back. Thanks for listening, guys. All right, guys, and we're back. We're talking about Big Trouble in Little China. We said we'd talk about the fight scenes next, so we're going to talk about the fight scenes. The fight scenes are some of my favorite stuff in this film. I love the way John Carpenter shot this. They're straight up. You can see the action. You can see the bones breaking. You can see the punches being thrown. It's not like a lot of modern films where they just jump cut, I feel like, a lot in fight scenes where you don't see a lot. It's just a lot of the guys spinning in circles. John Carpenter shows like fights, and I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, dude. The fight scene in the alley, best in the film.
That's so
Between
good.
the Chang Sings and the Wing Kong. The Sing Dings.
Chang Zings and the Wing Kongs.
Dude, best fucking fight scene. I think that like still to this day, like I don't think any other fight scene I've seen of a film can really hold a candle to how much that scene like engaged me as a viewer.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's just like it's when the gods come out of nowhere too. You're just like, what the hell? That's when you get sucked in. That's immediately when you get sucked into this movie is when that happens because you're like, okay, shit's got weird. It just got weird. What's going on in this movie?
Yeah, and I going back to what you guys you were kind of talking about the studio and John Carpenter having a hard time. I think that's the studio had a hard time marketing it because it was such a weird movie. There's just weird shit happening all the time. It was
All the
gods
time.
of thunder. There was kung fu. There was mysticism. There was some wisecracking fucking truck driver like leading the whole thing. Like,
Dude, the fact that he just like always used his knife for everything is awesome.
I like
to
how
me. He's always ripping it out of his boot and like cutting something with it.
How did like none of them, as they like became prisoners, like pat him down and realize, oh, his boot has a flap?
Because it was those sweet Indian boots, and you can hide things in those.
I wish I could find a pair of those. I want a pair of those.
They're so cool.
They are. Calf high boots.
Yeah.
Christmas. That's what I want for Christmas. Calf high boots with a knife.
I'll tell you one thing I like about the alleyway fight is it starts off and who are the bad guys with the bad
the Wing Kong.
The Wing Kong, they show up and they just pull out these guns and they just boom 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 boom, they shoot all these guys, and it's like after the first line goes, they're like, all right guys, guns down. And they just start going at it with knives and bows, as if like, we're done with these
They
things.
wasted all their ammo.
We're being too efficient right now, killing people. So
maybe that's the most realistic gunplay use in a film. Is that
the fact that the windshield did not get shattered through all of that gunfire is amazing to me.
They're all master martial artists. I think they can aim.
Yeah, that's true. The truck was not harmed at all by any of the gunfire that happened, which was amazing. I just really enjoyed the fight scenes. I also enjoyed the sets a lot, especially in David Lopan's palace type area, where it's like the little Buddhas, gold Buddhas everywhere. It's awesome.
And what the heck was Egg Shen's issue with that Buddha? He fucking hates that Buddha. Makes a point to blow the fucking shit out of it, and it's like, and then they just leave it like, I fucking hate that Buddha. Because no reason.
It's all neon and lit up. All
That's
amazing.
what I was gonna say. Maybe it's because it was everything in his palace had a neon like accents. So
What about
who did he hire to install all the neon? Is what I want to know.
Yeah.
Dude, it was all the guys that worked for him,
Oh, he just happened to grab
when they're not
one martial
gunning,
arts bad guy
when they're
who
not
knows
gunning
neon.
down gangs in the alleyway. They're building neon
He's got a
signs.
neon guy for that. All right.
He's got a gang of martial artists and a contractor.
he's got well, that's like who built the Death Star, What happened to those guys?
Or who built Batman's Batcave?
Yeah.
I think Batman built it. Or
By himself?
Or
What were all
the
the
Earth
fight
built it.
scenes?
He just kind of put shit into it.
Can you name all of the fight scenes that were in this movie?
There's throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, I can. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to say I can. Number 1, in the airport. Number 2, in the alleyway. Number 3, in the White Dragon. Is that what it's called? The White Dragon?
The restaurant?
No. The white is it the White Tiger? Thank you.
Okay.
The White Tiger fight scene.
Yeah.
Followed by that is the
White Tiger is the prostitute.
That's a prostitute place. Yeah. Followed by that would be the fight scene in David Lopan's place when they're first breaking out.
And
Second fight scene is when they break back in and they're in the caves. They fight that worm like fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
And then the floating head of eyes, and then. Oh my God!
Shoots it.
Oh my God! My favorite fucking going back to favorite lines. Best line in the film right here. It's when they're getting all the girls out, and he's like, "All right, from here on out, it's pretty standard. Offices, a storeroom, a nice false front. I count to 3. We go through this door. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3." Close the door. We may be trapped.
You know what I think is funny? One fight that's really funny is the when he goes in and he's going to save Gracie and who's the other girl? I can't remember her name. They're in the cages.
Oh yeah,
and it's
the
all
reporter.
women, but the only people fighting them back are women guards. As if Lopan thought about it and was just like, we don't want to be sexist or anything like that. Let's make sure we have.
Did you catch after Eddie and Wang beat the shit out of those 2 women? They both rolled their eyes and then moved on.
Yes,
women.
One thing I don't know why this just popped in my head, but all of Jack Burton's like entrances and exits are always great. Like when they're first breaking into Lopan's underground palace, the way they like walk past those security guards in the front, they just go in. They're like, "Oh yeah, we got to go check out this thing." And
we're
at
the phone company. They're holding a telephone.
Yeah.
I want to try that sometime.
And they're just walking down the hall like they bought it.
Yeah. I want to try this. I want to just walk into a business and just start waving around an old rotary dial telephone
totally.
with the phone company guys and just make my way into the back.
What about the special effects? What about the makeup effects? What about the sweet digital effects?
Dude, it was so well done. Like you can tell what John Carpenter can do with a $20 million budget. You can see what he does with a low budget. His movies are always phenomenal, and I think a lot of the money does get put into the visual aspect, especially in this film. The green flames, the ball of green flames in the and the light just at the beginning, the lightning between fucking Egg Shen's hands that he shows his lawyer, like that looks fucking solid.
Yeah,
like for 86, 87.
And that furry monster too. I don't know if he had
the
the same guy that did The Thing, because it seems like it.
No, because The Thing was The Thing, or oh god, I can't remember his name, but the guy was a schmuck.
Oh, was he?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
He's a schmuck special effects artist, but
I think the visual effects were done by the same company that did the visual effects for Ghostbusters. So I think that's another reason why it feels so familiar to us, is like some of these people like who work on these films, they create, these things that we grew up on, like the style of the visual effects,
I should fact check you now.
I'm pretty sure
before
we don't have to addendum your comment.
I am curious, which film came first?
I think
it was Ghostbusters.
Was Ghostbusters 86 or 87?
Look it up.
I want to say it's 86.
That
Actually,
floating
they both.
eye thing is very reminiscent of Slimer. Like, it feels like Slimer.
Yeah,
really.
Look at like the glows coming out of his mouth. That
Yeah.
looks like that looks like a proton pack, like the beam that comes out of it.
Am I the only one who saw that it looked like a D&D creature?
I totally take that back. Ghostbusters was 1984. Holy
Okay.
shit! So that definitely came out beforehand. So.
Okay. Which D&D character?
It's like a monster in D&D. It's a floating eye that looks exactly like that thing. I forgot
What came
it's called.
first, though?
Who
clearly.
knows?
Well, it'd be D&D, right?
Right? Yeah, it's
You would
gotta be
think.
D&D.
Really?
Has to be.
They're always adding characters.
D&D been around since like 1970.
Been around since 1970 something.
Yeah,
That character might
You're
not
just
have
repeating
been.
what Mike just possibly said.
That's what I'm repeating because
I don't know. I don't know when
Mike knows.
Well, John Carpenter was
Mike
actually
knows,
upset with
everybody.
that company. He was upset with that company because he feels like they didn't give it the proper attention. But the company comes back and says, "Look, we had plenty of time to do this. We're very proud of what we did, But John Carpenter was kind of like, no, they rushed it.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought from what I read, and I might be wrong on this, but I thought what I read is that the effects company that they hired was backlogged. They had way too many films. They took on too much work.
That's what he said.
And that they just said, look, we didn't have enough time to do it. You guys didn't give us a big enough window. But I mean, even if that's if the special effects company didn't have enough time to do it, the fucking effects in this film were fantastic.
The practical effects.
Well, the practical effects are great for all the fight scenes. They use a lot of old school kung fu stuff from like the Shaw Brothers days. They use trampolines and a lot of wire work and stuff.
46 was the body count, by the way, in this movie. 46 bodies.
46. Are you positive? It seems
high.
low. That
No.
seems low.
That's true. 46.
Really?
46.
What is
46 dead.
Well, let me talk about body count. Let's talk about the God of Thunder just blowing himself up. Why did that happen?
I think because he was so distraught after seeing Lopan. I think he has no point. There's no point in living anymore.
I agree.
So I'm going to take these
His
guys
life,
with
he
me.
lived for
Yeah.
Lopan, and
I
he
think
couldn't
it's him.
protect him.
I couldn't figure out if it was just because he was so sad or if because Lopan was dead, like that triggered him to die.
Who was
or
your
something.
favorite storm?
Lightning was always my favorite storm.
I feel like lightning too. Anybody else?
I
Lightning.
think everybody will
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, Lightning was. I think he was the most. I think he was the most approachable of the storms, and he reminds me the most of Raiden from Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat. So I mean, how can you get wrong?
I thought it was
there?
kind of funny when they're escaping that final time. He's completely like his aim is completely off. He can't hit.
Oh,
them.
all of a sudden,
takes
he just can't hit
forever to
shit.
get down that hallway, and he's shooting at them, and he can't hit Jack's feet.
Yeah,
Like, why didn't he fire it like right when he saw him? Like,
he
well,
was
I
like
got
he was like
lightning
a
bolts. What the fuck
sharpshooter
am I
all
doing?
film, and then all of a sudden at the end there, he suddenly, he just I don't know.
I'll
What
tell you
I'm
now,
doing. I don't know.
Win wouldn't have missed.
Wait.
Win wouldn't have missed.
Win would not have missed.
Wait, you had-
Actually, I think it was Rain.
Is it Rain?
He is
Excuse me.
Rain.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. You had a problem with that, but you didn't have a problem when the lightning dude would grab somebody and then fly off and they're not electrocuted.
Well, he's in control of the
on-
electrician.
He's holding on to a lightning bolt and literally
He
riding
gets to
that out.
choose.
It's
Okay,
yeah,
now I have a
it's
problem
being
with
it's
it.
being channeled into him. It's not like it's bouncing off his skin. Like he's
he
retaining
uses it to
Oh,
do
yeah.
his bidding.
I mean, I'm not
Cody.
a scientist or
Yeah.
anything, but right? Isn't that why you
Well, I
can't
don't think any
grab-
scientist would
You need to be
have
grounded to get electric,
Why
right?
would he be grounded?
Well, he's in the air. If he's holding somebody and electricity's flying around him, don't you have to be grounded to get electrocuted?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I take back my.
I don't think we even need to argue the scientific.
Yeah, right. Like I love
validity
why we're
of
doing this. Yeah, he can fly. Let's be.
Yeah. One thing I was confused about with them is like, what the fuck did they have to do with any of that in the alleyway?
What do you mean?
Why did they even get involved in that? Like they just showed up and just started wrecking everyone during like this middle.
Well,
of this gang fight.
they weren't killing the Wing Kong. If you go back and watch it, like when they run past and you can see the three of them like cutting people down, it's only yellow turbans that are getting cut down at that
That's
point.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a metaphor. I'm just kidding.
what? For what?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
figure it out.
Yellow turbans getting cut down.
We'll figure that out because you know what we're going to talk about next, guys. We're going to analyze the film.
Let's
talk
do it
about
right.
the film.
Let's do it, man.
All right. So, how does everybody feel like the way it was shot? Because I'm a huge fan of the way it was shot.
Visually beautiful.
I think it was visually beautiful. Also, Chris,
Yeah, it puts you in a fantasy world.
Mike.
I don't think I'm in any disagreement on that.
Okay. What about pacing? Did anyone have a problem with the pacing?
I don't.
No.
But here's the interesting thing about the pacing of this film. It moves so fast. And there's a lot of exposition that goes around. Like, does anyone... I remember even as a child watching this film and thinking that this was a sequel to something because I didn't understand how all these characters knew each other so intimately, in a way. Like, we can establish right off the bat that Jack and Wang have probably gone on some adventures together because...
Yeah.
I think
They
I
seem
think
to
they're
know
just
each other.
drinking buddies.
But-
Really, that's how the film starts.
Right, exactly. They have to have had something going on. Like, they're definitely friends,
Yeah.
right? But does anybody find it weird that Gracie Law just walks right into Wang's restaurant?
And
Like,
then
right
joins
in the back.
gang.
Like, as if just like, oh, there's Gracie Law. Like, everyone knows each other. I know it's Little Chinatown, but, like, how small is this place, man? Everyone knows each other. Egg Shen knows everybody, and they're introducing all these characters, and all of a sudden, it's just like they walk into this restaurant, and they're like, oh, there's Eddie. Oh, there's Gracie.
well-
Oh, there's friggin', you know.
You bring up what you're bringing up though is a point that I wanted to make tonight was overall I thought the editing and the pacing was fantastic with the exception of one fucking scene, which is when they're in Wang's restaurant. And I swear to God, if you watch the movie and you analyze it, it looks like whoever was like, they had like an intern who was like doing the final edit of everything. He dropped the film on the ground and he tried to piece it together in that one scene. Because like Eddie walks in and it's like, let me introduce you to my good friend Jack Burton. And they shake hands and then he goes, Jack Burton. And I was like, huh? It just looks like that was totally flipped around, which includes the introduction of Gracie Law. Like I feel like the introduction was cut incorrectly. That whole scene is just edited like somebody threw the fucking script in the air and then they try to pick it up really quick.
And I
before
love
they
her
shot
name,
it.
Gracie Law. 'cause,
Gracie,
you know,
yeah.
she's a lawyer.
Let's talk about her for a second.
Kim Cattrall.
dude.
She's
Hell
gorgeous
yeah.
in that movie.
Gorgeous, absolutely.
Her green contacts are fantastic
Yeah.
in the film. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're horrible contacts.
Had me fooled.
Yeah, it had me full. I was like, damn, redhead, green eyes.
No, not at all. You can see the brown like around the green part of the contact and a lot of the close-ups.
That's what makes it look so exotic.
And
Yeah.
I watched it in standard definition,
Oh,
Yeah.
not even in high def. And
yeah. I
noticed that.
watched this in 1080p.
I really feel like she didn't have a lot of dialogue though.
No, she really didn't. She was just kind of an extra character. A side
She didn't
character.
really have to have a lot of dialogue though. She was
It's
there.
fucking
as-
Kim Cattrall. Chris.
So did
Exactly.
you guys like the ending that he left and didn't stay with her? He was just like, fuck this,
You
I'm
know
outta
what?
here.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I think that ending needs to be up there. I think it's second to the only thing it's second to is Han Solo in fucking Empire when she says I love you and he goes I know, and that's like he's so badass. Like, aren't you gonna kiss her goodbye? Nope. And he fucking walks out. Like, how fucking badass of a guy is that?
so
Yeah,
funny because
fuck women.
I was watching the movie.
it's not fuck women. It's
I'm
like
just
it's
It's so funny because I was watching the movie with my wife at the time. She's a fan of this movie. She loves it too. And
at the time.
yeah, at the time. And
So you got divorced.
no, my wife now. We were watching the movie together at that time. We were watching the movie.
My
together.
wife at the time, who were not together as of 2 days ago.
No, so we were watching the movie, and she said that she brought that up at the end when that happened. She's like, "What a dick!" Like she was like, before that, she's like, "Kurt Russell is so man pretty. He's just
Yeah, it was
man
the mullet
pretty.
that did it for her.
He's just so man pretty. He just has, he looks like a man. He's got the man pretty." And I was just like, okay.
Do you have the man pretty?
Yeah, I do have the man pretty. Thank
Obviously,
you.
huh?
Thank you. Yeah, you know I do. But at the end of the film, she's like, "Fuck him," like because he just walks away.
Well, I have a question about Jack. I mean, does he makes an excuse for that, right? Doesn't he say something like, like, hey, the relationships don't work out for me, or something like we live separate lives? Kyle, he says something,
didn't he say,
right?
like, I'll think about it?
He says like sooner or later I rub everybody the wrong way.
Right.
And she said the only way it would work is if you got a bigger truck. And he's like, yeah, it's a great idea.
I've always just wondered if that's like the only semblance of kind of like a character arc for Jack.
What is that? He's
I
destined
don't know.
to be alone.
It's the one time he's not really being like a braggart. He's kind of being really honest about everything.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
so maybe like this whole adventure taught him one thing that's just like, oh man, like I
just want to be
I'm
alone.
out of place here. Like, yeah.
How do you guys feel about the ending? Because I never thought twice about it, but after watching revisiting the film and kind of analyzing it, like, do you think the ending leaves it open ended?
Do you think,
or do you think the ending basically means that Jack Burton dies eventually?
No, open-ended.
Yeah, I thought it was to obviously maybe the studio thought that this had sequel appeal, and maybe they said, hey, we'll just leave it open and have this thing where.
Well, because I mean,
We'll leave it open, like
if you
he's-
think about, maybe I'm overanalyzing, but if you think about it, he breaks ties with everybody he knows, and as he's driving away, you see the monster is in his fucking truck with him, like
On to the next
Is
city
that- is
to
that
battle with
monster-
his other friends.
Is this
and-
monster going to like fucking kill him when he gets to wherever he's going? He stops at a truck stop to take a piss, and the
I
monster
think-
fucking
hold
kills
on,
him.
Hold on, I'll bring this up. We brought this up earlier. The monster really doesn't hurt anyone.
Oh, you know what? You're absolutely right. He just grabs people
He just-
and drags
he
them.
probably-
he drags them like 5 to 10 feet, and that's.
He had long
that's-
nails. He probably scratched somebody.
It'd be a nice scratch.
Jack doesn't live in Chinatown. He's a trucker. I feel
Well,
like
I
maybe
know
he
that,
might
yeah.
have a reason. Maybe that, Jack has to leave. He still has a job. He still has to.
Yeah, he's a trucker.
He's a
and he
trucker,
just- yeah.
and he sweeps into town, he sweeps out of town, and that's his life. He's just,
I feel like he's got friends in every city, and he probably has adventures with them. Not in Little China, maybe it's in like
Little Italy.
Little Italy,
Big Trouble in Little Italy.
Little Tokyo,
Little Tokyo.
But I can imagine
Little
like a
Paris.
sequel happening from
Little
this.
Paris.
Little Paris.
Lil Paris.
Big Trouble.
Paris.
Big Trouble in Little Italy. They have to fight the mob.
And they
It
have
could work.
magic.
Yeah, ancient-
cannoli monster.
Ancient Catholic gods, Catholic saints have to fight.
See things no one else can see. Do things no one else can do.
Real things?
As real as Lopan.
Hey, what more can a guy ask for?
Oh, the 6 demon bag.
Terrific. A 6-demon bag. Sensational. What's in it, Egg?
Wind, fire, all that kind of things.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's. I think we've talked enough about the film. I think we pretty much got what we wanted to say about it.
What a terrible ending. I think we've talked enough about this piece of shit. God damn, let's just get this episode over.
No, I think we should go into our ratings and we should rate this film. What are we rating this film on this time? Last time it was Mops. What are we doing this time?
I vote for Egg Shens myself.
Egg Shens.
I second that.
It was Kyle's choice, so
Egg Shens
Boom.
it is. All right, so we're going to give this one, I have to give it 5 out of 5 Egg Shens. I love this movie. Like, there's so many great lines. It's so quotable, and it's just, it's fun to watch. You get lost in it, and you go on the adventure with them, and you forget that you're watching a movie, and you just unplug your brain for a little bit and just enjoy the show, and that's what I really, really like about this movie.
Mike?
5 Egg Shens. I love
Yeah.
this film. This film is just like, it's my childhood. I'm so glad we're doing it. So glad we're doing this film.
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Egg
What?
Shens.
What the fuck?
Well, it had to be different.
Oh my
4 out of
god.
5 Egg
Goddamn
Shens.
Wilmbrecht
I mean, that's
over
still
here.
a pretty good review.
No.
Okay.
Why 4?
This is not a movie that I could see myself watching even once a month, even though I love it a lot and I really have a good time when I watch it. It's not something that I'm gonna like if somebody was like, you want to come over and watch Big Trouble in Little China next week on Friday, I would probably not want to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Really,
But the film, I mean, obviously, it stands on its own. It was made in a time where like reality and fantasy could blend, and it was fun for everyone of all ages. It was like just had all of the right elements to it, and it was at a time when movies were just getting like innovative, so they could start exploring these new things, these new ways of telling the story, and I'm glad that film was made.
Kyle.
Well, I'm giving it 5 out of 5 egg shens. This movie is so close to my heart. It's one of my favorite action movies and probably one of my favorite John Carpenter movies of all time. It's supremely enjoyable, great quotable lines, and in fact, like, you know, when I hang out with one of my good friends, like, I'd say a portion of our conversation usually involves quotes from this movie. Like, I love it. It's fun. It's got action. It's got mysticism. It's got fucking light coming out of his eyes. Like, I'm telling you, it's a fucking great movie. I love it. Watch it.
He also gave it 3 fuckins.
I'll give it 4 if you want.
I'll give it 4 fuckins.
Fucking great movie.
All right, guys, make sure you join us next week when we're going to be reviewing John Waters' Cecil B. Demented. It's Chris's pick. We'll be talking about that next week. It should be fun.
Boo.
Kyle's super excited. Join us next week.